Okay, let's see. It looks like I'm here. Hey, Rick, how you doing, brother? You're more than welcome to join. I'll send the link through the chat. Don't know how long I'm going to be on tonight. I'm not really feeling great, but I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see. First, I got to get rid of that stupid banner. There we go. Now the loop. The loop. Yeah, well, that's in progress. I just wanted to do something with it tonight. That's about all I'm doing. Let's see if I can break through here. There we go. Oh, we are live. So, how is everybody tonight? I hope you're all doing good. I see that we don't have a large audience, but that's okay. I don't think Diana's joining. Not her fault. I just invited her, but she is tired. Yeah. So I'm not surprised. We're upset. It's cool. And besides, we got Rick here. What's up, Rick?
Not much yourself.
I'm dying. Just dying.
Why are you dying?
Just I don't feel great. Plus, this country is driving me crazy.
Uh,
Oh, look, I just made it big to see your art, and you took it away.
I can put it back on.
What was it?
This is called. It's from a book. Through Metal. Well, not Metal, but a friend of his. Called the Corvette Kid.
Nice.
So it's her like in June. It's gonna be like the 5th anniversary of her creating the kids, her character. So her comics and all that. So she's doing some sort of an anniversary type thing that she's gonna have a collage of a bunch of people that draw stuff. So actually, I could get you the information if you wanted to draw it and submit it
We should,
and go
yeah,
on this thing. And
we should promote a little for her. Let's see. What's it called again?
Corvette Kid, you'll find it on Global Comic. Her name is. Or, let me find out.
All right, I'm doing a Google search for it. Let's see what comes up. Do, 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 do. It's not that. Let's see. Corvid Kid English. Oh yeah, I found it. Let's see. Oh man, I gotta close
Come on.
X. X was open, driving me crazy. So what do you think, man? How much longer can we be friends before we're in trouble because our nations hate each other?
I don't care.
I don't either. Really,
I'm
been
going to be
really
friends who I'm friends with. I don't care who says anything. And like I've had some people. Well, maybe I'm not. I haven't. I'm not sure. But I basically said I've had people, or I've come to the thing that I'm not sure how to say it. I don't think I've actually had anybody ever give an ultimatum, but I'm like, usually if you given me an ultimatum like that, you're
Yeah.
going to be the one that loses
Yeah.
because I'm not. I'm not going to choose between friends. If you have a beef with them, fine. You have a beef with them. They haven't done anything to me, usually, most likely. So I'm not going to.
Get involved in that garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's garbage, man. I have been sparring a little on X about it, but it's driving me nuts. I'm like, come on, you guys. It's a hockey game. Well, he went to see the pedo. That drives me crazy because I will accept he's a suspected pedo, but until they actually have some evidence, I hate it when people accuse people of shit that they can't prove.
Yeah. And I don't even know who or what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm talking about when I guess there's player, players on Team USA that play for Canada in the NHL. And
Okay.
because the US team went to see President Trump, they're now called pedophile supporters and this, that, the other thing. And there's people in Canada saying, trade those Americans off our teams like the Maple Leafs and whatnot. and get them out of here. They're pedo. And I'm like, this is getting way out of hand. This is just stupid. You know, they
Yeah.
won a gold medal. They went to see the president. They went to the State of the Union. It was practically a field trip. I mean, I'm like, these guys don't get to go to the White House and meet the president every day of the year. And even if they don't like him historically, they can say, yeah, I met that filthy dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just not fair.
Well, it's I know it's the same, but not the same. It's like back when he first became president the first time. Oh, nobody wanted to play at his inauguration, or because they're fans. It's like, really, you're gonna you're gonna turn down this playing for the president, just because of this. Okay, maybe I could see with it if you disagree with his politics or whatever. Fine, okay, thing, but like then that's just divisive, and it's not like every day you get invited to go play for the president or whatever.
Well, and I don't even understand this idea that you'll just not go see him at all. If I had had a chance, now it's not a secret that I wasn't a huge fan of Biden, but if I had had a chance to sit down and talk to the man, what are you talking about? This guy is the guy that you're saying causes all the problems. I would sit there in a heartbeat, have a chance to have an audience with him and say, yo, I think this is wrong. I'd like to see this change.
Yeah, well, I can't say I'd do the same, and I'm going to use a different one, a more Canadian one. Like if I had the chance to sit down with what's his name? I can't even remember.
Trudeau, right?
Justin Trudeau. Yeah. I would pass it up in a heartbeat.
Would you?
I wouldn't want to sit with the idiot. Because I believe it would be because I believe it would just be a waste of my time. In many ways, you could make fun of him and right in front of his face, and I don't think he'd get it, or he wouldn't let you get to him.
I would love to ask him to face if he thought Castro was his dad or not.
Yeah.
Just to see his eyes, because I'm sure he'd deny it, but it's like there's so many things.
Well, I'm not even sure whether he would know.
Yeah, he probably doesn't know, but I'm sure he has a stock answer about how he's not.
The only one that might know is his mom.
Everything is making me just kind of like be like, Jesus, any day now, please. Any day.
Yeah.
I hate the divisiveness. I don't agree with Democrats on almost anything, but I don't want to be their enemy. I don't see them as necessarily being pedo protectors, even though Biden did nothing over 4 years and kind of, showered with his daughter, which was weird. And she called probably inappropriate, but I digress, like it's not like both parties are innocent. So I'm just very conflicted and watching it all this week unfold. And I'm like, dear God, what's next? What are they going to do next?
Probably more they say about him, yet ultimately he did release them. So the files, right? But maybe it was because of some backlash or whatever.
Like they redacted out tons of names that they didn't have to, that they shouldn't have, and then they didn't redact the names of the victims and release those. That was stupid. And then today we find out they left out a 53-page report about a woman who claimed that she was raped and molested. And I'm just like, okay, so let's say Trump is innocent, then he's the dumbest mofo in the world screwing this up. And if he's guilty, he's still the dumbest mofo in the world for screwing this up. I'm like, what? You got the files, you got everything you need to take care of business, and you don't seem to have the ability to. That's stupid.
Yeah, well, I remember he said something a few months ago when this was part of the thing. He just doesn't. He thinks it would hurt more.
Oh, hell yeah!
To have released, and in some ways, he might be right.
I am sure he's right. I am sure that we would lose many politicians, many celebrities, many CEOs. But you know what? I hate pedos that much. I don't give a flying. I'm like, get those
Yeah,
bitches out of office then. Like I don't care. What's up,
yeah.
Randy? Uh-oh, Randy's on mute mode again. Just so you know, we can't hear you yet, bud. We're not ignoring you and we're not clipping you, as Lorenzo
But
would
on a
say.
completely different topic,
Yes.
Clipping
what do
me?
you think of that?
That's nice, man. Where'd you get it? Is it stained glass?
Yeah, a buddy of mine does stained glass, and he did it for me.
Very cool.
I'm thinking when I do my next Canadian Shield campaign, to maybe have like 5 of them up to grab. It's
That
going to
would
be an
a good
expensive
deal.
tier.
Heck yeah. We got to release the Loop and I don't know. Diana
Cyclopean.
wants to do a reissue of Darkness Dies. So we're probably going to be doing that too. But the Loop, I got to get going. The Loop is going to be awesome.
Can you hear
Well,
me now?
I did finish
sort of.
Cyclopean this week, and I'm up to date on it. 2
Randy,
thumbs
we
up.
kind of hear you now. Oh man, I don't know if he's going in and out or not, or maybe he's trying to be heard again. But we did hear you say, "Can you hear us?" Or hear me?
Can you hear me now?
No,
We can. Rick
I
can't,
hate
but
when
I
you do that, Rick. The answer is yes or don't say anything.
no.
There we go. So what's up, bro?
Not much. I missed last week. I had to work, so I didn't get done until after you guys were just about done anyway.
Yeah, it's nothing again. There's no worries. If you're here, that's great. If not, I'll just say a prayer and hope that you're safe. But yeah, I don't know. I'm
Oh,
weird
listen,
today.
I wanted to say thank you for putting your John Hancock on that book. Tony sent that to me.
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah, and Monday the plan was I was going to give it to my dad on Monday after I put my signature on it, but because I had a couple VA appointments that he was going to take me to, but he picked me up at 11:30 because my first appointment was like 1 o'clock, I think. So obviously the mail didn't come yet, but by the time he dropped me off, of course, it was there. And I was like, shit, fuck, I wanted to do this tonight, but I have more appointments coming up soon. So now that I have it, he's going to bring me to the next appointment. So it'll happen then. And I'll send you and Tony pictures of the whole thing.
Very cool. No, it was great. I went up there with Diana. We hung out with him and Steph and Eric and his wife, or Neo. Sorry, he goes by.
Right. And I know, either way, I know who you're talking about.
Yep. And it was just nice. I do like Mantown though. I love going out in the woods with those guys and just hanging out. But it was bitter cold. I don't think anybody was going out there that night.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man.
Well, I would have, because once you get a couple of shots of Rumplemint, the cold is irrelevant. But yeah,
yeah, I feel you.
Oh man. So what else is happening, Rick? How's your book going?
Good. Well, I think you've seen the first 2 pages of Snowdrift.
Yep.
In the middle of coloring page 1. However, there's been some slight changes in how things are going to progress. Alpha is, as you know, doing Alpha Proto is doing number 2 of Snowdrift, and he's
Right.
going to do number 3. He's now no longer doing Canadian Shield number 4. But the guy that I got doing the Flame number 1 will be doing Canadian Shield 4, and he is really fast at art. It's like I'm gonna bring up something that he did here. Give me a sec. Hopefully, I can do it. From
Hey, Rick,
here.
before you pull up the big screen, you got the green screen shoved in a little ball up on top of that bookcase or whatever it is behind you, right? Because I can see it.
Yeah.
It's sparkly.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you have something going on up there.
Yeah, that better? Not bothering you now?
No, it's just something that I can't unsee once I see it, but it doesn't bother me.
I found I found Corbin Kid.
Yeah.
So that's a girl.
No, that's a boy.
Okay,
His
the
name's
creator is a
Samson.
girl.
Oh
What's
yeah, the
wrong-
creator is a
What's,
girl.
what's up with his one arm, his right arm?
It got taken off in like a car accident, and now somehow there's I think it's supposed to be a demon can be hit part of his arm or whatever. It might not be a demon. I'm not sure, but
Oh,
it's
so she sort of draws this almost in a American anime style, if I was going to call it anything. At least from what I'm looking at. I'm looking at issue 2 right now.
yeah.
Exciting.
What about
It's kind of like that one
Oh.
Spider-Man series where they were like, it was him, Harry, Mary Jane. They were all like younger. They were still in like, maybe they were in high school, but they might have only been in middle school. But it
Right.
kind of looked like it was like an Americanized anime style. The animation style was, you know.
Americans have definitely tried to break into manga with their
Oh.
own little manga-like style, but I don't think it's worked. I don't think they've been able to touch it. I say they, I'm one of them. I'm an American, but we haven't been able to touch it. Although I do have some interesting stuff coming in the loop. Ooh,
This is his art. He did this last night on my thing. On my show, I was doing a mashup of some DC and Marvel characters, and he did a mashup of Hulk and Superman.
he's all right. So I'm going to say this the most honest way I can. He's promising. Like, I know from what I'm going through, he has a little bit of anatomy stuff going on, but really look at the face. That's really where the hardest part most artists have issues with. He's good, man. I like this guy.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet him the next time he's on your show streaming. Let me know.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be on sometime. Maybe I wouldn't say tomorrow, but maybe.
Are you
I'm
doing
sorry.
draw streams now?
Pardon?
I said are a bit janky, but other than that, it's still pretty good art.
Oh, it's awesome. Are you doing draw streams now?
Yes and no. Like Monday nights, I do have a manga Monday, so I'm usually drawing up a manga character. And anybody's welcome to join and draw whatever. And normally I'll show if they're actually drawing, I'll show. If again, Tuesdays, right now I'm doing mashups between DC and Marvel characters, trying to make it weird mashups too. And then beginning in April,
Different.
beginning in April through June, I'm going to do Mario and He-Man mashups.
Oh, you mean like any Mario character or Mario and He-Man specifically?
He-Man, well, I'm going to do He-Man and Mario together, but then I'm going to go on to other
Right.
characters like Yoshi and Battle Cat, Luigi and Man at Arms,
Like
Skeletor and Bowser.
Princess Peach and
Tila.
what's that? Evil Lyn.
No, well, Peach will not be with Evelyn because Peach is a good guy. I'm going to try and keep good guys with good guys and bad guys together.
So there's no Skeletor, He-Man. Oh no, you wouldn't mix the same universe anyways.
Yeah. And I thought I downloaded it.
My thing is I have to figure out if I can set this up properly to get a good draw stream signal. Like, and I don't know if I should do it over the shoulder with a camera or if I should do it digitally like you do it, or if I should combine two in like OBS or and use the OBS signal as my camera. Because one thing it's weird. This week I've been defending AI, and it's weird because I don't use AI in my artwork, but I will use it in video. I will use it for audio. I don't get all the hate for it. And when I tried to point out some of the problems with their, look at that, with their arguments.
This is Raul again, Canadian Shield, and another acquaintance of mine, friend of his, character together.
Who's the girl with the
are her nipples out?
Chest?
It looks like her nipples are out, bro.
Yeah,
What's
she's
up?
definitely hard.
I don't think they're out, but I think they're through a translucent material.
But
So
those
you're
come-
saying the turkeys are done.
yeah, no, she definitely looks like she just came in from the freezer.
Uh-huh.
Or came out of the freezer.
Yeah, yeah. So is this the same artist that did the Hulk? This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely good, dude. You found yourself another guy. What's up, Outcast? Like you just I consider you to be the guy that discovered Dillard, although I'm sure he had stuff before you published him. But you were the guy who gatewayed me into Dillard at all. If it wasn't for you, Dillard would have lost me with the late books. But Rick hired Dillard, and the art is good. Have you seen Dillard's work, Randy?
Just is that who drew this?
No.
Dillard drew the best Canadian Shield stuff that you ever see. I'm
I
sorry.
might
about
have
that.
seen it if it was like if you showed it in your intros, but I wouldn't have known it was that specific artist.
I did show something from him, but it wasn't Canadian Shield. It was for the Buckler, and it was a cartoon that I don't know if he actually animated it himself, but it was really cool. And it was a while ago, though. Let's see, John Dillard.
Did you see Yellow Flash's Golden Patriot?
Yes,
Probably not.
I did.
He-
Oh, you
Dylan
mean
was the artist on that.
Outcast said in the chat, he said Hordak and Doctor Doom.
Well, Hordak is obviously sort of He-Man, but Doctor Doom is Marvel, not.
No, right. I get that he's from Marvel, not Super Mario's. I'm just. God, you're
Yeah,
so
I know
critical.
you're repeating what he
You
said.
need to take the kill.
All right, Randy. So
I
I'm going to
think
show
it
you
is-
something real quick. Whoops. I think I just lost what I wanted to show you. No, I got it. All right. So that cover is pretty indicative of Dillard shining pretty bright. I think it's painted.
He does lighting effects pretty well.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he painted
Like
Right.
the reflections, I mean, and scattering of light. It's pretty cool, actually.
yeah,
Oh,
he
did that
painted
switch?
that cover.
And this is like some of his
And this
lineup.
guy's name is what? The Buckler?
That's
Yeah.
the Buckler by John Dillard.
Yeah, and actually
So
his
he use little
character-
tiny shields that are just a bit bigger than fist size, or does he have a lot of buckles? What's the deal?
I don't know.
the shield one.
Okay.
And you can
Little
see
tiny
he's got
shields.
in that picture, he's got the buckler, the shield on the one
Okay,
hand.
right? Sort of, yeah.
So he didn't have a shield in this one, but it's in this one, right?
Yeah. Well,
This
it's probably
is
in his banner.
of some of his
You know what? He looks a bit like, except for being red, if you change that to purple, he's the Phantom.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's gotten that so many times.
But he does good work, and he did.
I go back one to the cover.
Well, shoot. Did I just
see
close
the
it?
guy on the right there?
I don't see anything. I think I
No,
closed
no,
it. Hang on.
yeah, in the
No, it's
cover
on the
picture.
Let me see what you're seeing. I don't know what you're looking at. Oh yeah, see the guy on the right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, on the right
The
there,
second guy that
that's
has a
me.
glass
It's supposed to be me.
mask is you.
He put you in there. Oh shoot.
Oh, that's
How'd
you? That kind of is you. I wish we could
Yeah.
enlarge it. I wish you could enlarge it.
I'm gonna try. Let me see.
You could probably save it or something like that.
I'm gonna make it its own window, and then try to share that. Hang on. I'm not all that great tonight. Here we go. Presenter invite. I want to share screen. Where are you? Oh yeah, I forgot. I have to stop the share screen before I start a new one. Like it can be in the studio, but not online and keep me out. Okay, here we go. All right, so enlarge it. That's as big as I can get.
Yeah, there you go.
I like the logo with the bullet holes in it, though. But that's Rick.
Yeah, I'll go back down in a second.
Yeah, I like the logo with the title of the book with the bullet holes in it. That's pretty cool.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah, I've
they're-
got that book too. So
Do all his comics have the title above with the bullet holes in it, or is that just does it change from issue to issue?
well,
don't
it's
know.
the same
I only
style.
have
I'm not sure
one.
whether they all have the bullets in or not. I can't remember.
That's
Look
some
at that.
pretty good lighting, man. I love his control of light.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he painted this by hand. This
Yeah,
cover
light
is
and shadow.
completely
It's, light and shadow. I mean, I can't draw it other than a stick figure, but I would have to imagine that lighting and shading are it's subtle, but it's in very, very important detail, and probably one of the most difficult to master.
Well, it's funny you're talking about that because that's been a big thing in the loop. Trying to take advantage of light. That comes directly from watching David Finch. Have you ever watched him, Rick?
a couple times. I haven't
Man.
watched him as much as I want to. I've watched
He
more of his
really
life.
is
a little
about what art should be.
Yeah.
But a lot of comic art relies on the black. Like you got to know how to block out, certain parts of muscles. Like if you look at John Byrne, look at his Cyclops in uniform and the way he handles the muscles. It looks so good, but it's so simplistic. And understanding what he's doing helps a lot. Like he's a master. And I look at his stuff and I'm like,
Yeah, I've said this many, many times in my life, and I'll probably say it many, many more times. He's my personal favorite comic book artist.
hallelujah, brother.
For me personally.
Me too. I'm with you all the way.
There's not
Hey,
others that I'm huge fans of, but if I had to pick one that sits at the top of the mountain, it's got to be John.
and the way I look at it, Jim Lee, I think, is a better technical artist than anybody else pretty much in American comics. John Byrne is still my favorite. He is a true cartoonist, meaning he doesn't necessarily have to be the best technical artist because it's the way he moves his pen, the way he gets the emotions in the faces. The action is just so well built. And when I watch studies on him, one thing that the artists that study him always note is that he was very big on Jack Kirby. A lot of what he does is rooted in a lot of Jack Kirby stuff. But his very first submission to Marvel was a 24-page story drawn in Jack Kirby style. Byrne can draw like Kirby anytime he wants. It's like, what? I don't know.
So it really looks like Kirby, like with the characters standing on the tippy toes always, and the psychedelic
Yep,
mode.
the square fingers and the ugly women. Yeah, all of it.
Ugly hairdos.
When I was
it was the 60s, and so he was just looking outside the window.
That's true.
When we're wearing ugly hairdos.
And Tony's here. Hey, Tony. And
Titans.
here's another page that Raul did for the Flame. The book that he's
Yeah, I
on.
think this Raul guy is pretty good. Yeah, I think you've done it again, Rick. You may have discovered the next John Dillard. Look at this. Stop. No, he's good, man. It works. Has he been published by any big companies or anything?
No.
Very cool. It won't be long. They're going to try to steal them from you, Rick. They're all going to start coming nipping. But that's
So
kinda
yeah,
like go ahead.
yeah, he's going to be doing the Flame #1 and Canadian Shield 4.
Bravo. I don't know. I'm going to finish up the loop, finish up the Cyclopean issue I'm doing right now, and try to get the reissue on Kickstarter for Darkness Dies. And I'd like to get them all done in March. But I think it'll probably go Cyclopean
March.
loop and then the reissue. And the
It'll
reissue
probably
might
go
not
till
be
next
in March.
March.
What's that?
Reissue by next
Probably
March.
till next March, yeah. And by then it'll be 157 pages.
Oh, but
No.
this March.
thing
Yeah,
that
March.
might delay Darkness Dies is I'm thinking about, don't they call it an epilogue at the end where you just do like another short chapter?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Call
thinking
that.
about putting an epilogue at the back of Darkness Dies as it exists, and just bringing some stuff a little further along.
No,
Without
you
getting
can't do that because then you cheat the people that got them.
Okay, so but we're gonna get our powers back, right?
The reissue. What's that?
I said we're gonna get our powers back, right?
Well, that's an interesting conversation we should have, because when Tony and I were talking, right, I was like, "What if you're the only one who tried to get your powers back?" And like, so remember, as my only writer, I try to think of all sorts of avenues. But what would happen if like the three of us, didn't pursue continuing, kind of like in real life, like Tony like stays in shape and he's out there training all the time. I didn't do anything. And I don't know. I don't think Stacy did much. And you were like saying you weren't lifting and stuff. So it's like, what if Captain Aura was the only one who bothered? And like at the end of it, there's a reunion and he's got his aura powers, and we're all like, dude, we don't.
Or maybe you guys get new powers.
That could
No.
happen.
No.
I say
No.
because
I'm gonna
Chris,
give you an international nope on that one, Rick.
But see,
No.
when
well,
you're
at least for Captain Thunder, Chris, or whatever.
when he says that, I'm curious to hear like what the vision would be. Not that you necessarily go for it, because obviously, like, it's like, no, I don't want to change my powers, but what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Well,
It's-
you're
The
reason I say that.
What powers would you give Stacy,
Well,
Chris, and I in?
Well,
instead
one,
of
I don't
powers?
know. I don't know who Stacy is, and I don't know what powers. That would be up to you. The only reason I suggested it is because, you say he can. Tony continues to stay in shape, but you developed a whole new skill in doing the art, right?
I know what you're saying. Like, well,
Appreciate-
like with Stacy, for instance, he was always really fast and really thin and nimble, like. But what if, like,
in real life, he's talking about? Yeah, that's the way he really was in real life.
But if he evolved, what if he evolved into like a 300-pound giant man who was just like a juggernaut who,
or like
was,
a blob, yeah, immovable.
right. But the immovable force, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what if he, I can
Well,
kind
it's
of
a movable object versus irresistible force, but you were halfway.
Yeah, I'm slacking.
Maybe he's a bit of both.
Yeah, maybe.
But my point was, just because you guys have changed over time, maybe you end up developing different powers.
Yes, I could become irresistible to animals.
I could become irresistible to hot bitches, but who knows? Common,
No,
right?
I say that all week long. Okay, all week long I've had these poor animals.
And
wake
of
me
course,
up every hour.
that would be up to Chris. What he would change, what powers
So
or
you'd
whatever.
be like, basically be like Squirrel Girl, but without the tail or the boobs.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be winning stuff off panel all the time.
yeah. She's the most indestructible, undefeatable Marvel character who's nobody's ever seen do shit. They've only heard about it secondhand.
It's and that's kind of funny in a way. Like, okay, that's a funny joke, but the problem is Marvel is so not serious anymore that it kind of like, it's like, oh, you're serious, you're not joking. This is like you believe this. The Squirrel Girl community, however big it is now. I don't know if there's anybody really into her anymore.
I think I liked them when they first introduced. I could be wrong, but when they first introduced her, wasn't she thin and actually pretty?
I think it really depended on who was drawing her, but yeah, she was. I've seen her look really good, and I've seen her look really bad. So maybe it's just I don't know, maybe pictures far apart. Maybe they had a different actress player for the bad one. I don't know. But
I mean, my whole thing with that character when it was first introduced and I first started seeing it, the way she was originally drawn, it was clearly a character for kids because the art style was more like a children's cartoon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that just kind of turned me, like the art style just turned me off a little bit. And then when I learned a little bit more about how goofy her whole premise, her whole power set was, like, what? Come on. And why does she actually need a fucking tail? It's not like it's prehensile. It has absolutely no use.
That's kind of true, right? I mean, but I guess it was for the gimmick.
Yeah, she
and,
had a little bit like a squirrel, right? Doesn't she have ears too? Does she have like little tough?
Yeah, she's got little squirrel ears, I think.
So stupid.
Yes. But on the other hand, if there's a market for her, great. But yeah, I was.
Then all you had to do,
the childlike
right?
stuff. The childlike art usually does turn me off. Because it's marketed for kids. You know what I mean? It's like, cool, they can have it. I hope it does great. I hope the kids love it. But it's not something like if they come out with a movie, I'm not going, let's go this Sunday. No. We've seen her.
Yeah, that. If there was ever a Squirrel Girl live action movie, that would be something that I would watch if it just happened to be on while I was at somebody's place. And it's not my TV, so I can't say, let's turn this off and watch something else.
Listen, I have a confession to make. So at some point, sometime about 10 years ago, I think it was, the AT&T girl, I don't know, she's kind of pretty. She was in a lot of commercials where she'd be like in the studio. And
the Russian girl with the short dark hair?
Yes. She was going to play.
Yeah, and she got kicked out of that position for a while because she did they weren't nudes, but they were kind of risque pictures on the internet. And so they fired her for a while, but she was so popular they had to hire her back.
Yeah. And I was excited about Squirrel Girl when they said she was going to play her.
I could see her as Squirrel Girl. I could totally see that.
That would work for me, but apparently the thing they were doing fell apart. It was some Marvel. It wasn't even a movie. It was going to be like a mini series or something, and it never got past the pilot. Oh well, but I would have watched that. Admittedly, I was interested. But that's mostly because of the actress. You're like, oh, I wonder how she'll pull that off.
Yeah, I hear you. It's a guilty pleasure. I get it.
Yep. Well, I like seeing heroes look good, It was weird. The Superman movie this year was kind of weird because I feel like he looks a lot like Henry Cavill. He's not a dead ringer. But if they had said this is Henry Cavill's little brother, what's that?
He's about 4 inches taller too.
Is he?
I think he's like 6'4" or 6'5".
Wow. But if you told me, they were related, I would, oh yeah, I could see that. But I know they're not. It's just the way they casted it.
This might be what she originally looked like.
Yes. I'm going to say something here that I don't know for sure, but I think those are Al Milgrom inks. I seem to remember seeing this art and looking it up.
I looked up where her first appearance was, and then I looked up that comic, and they're showing a whole bunch of other stuff.
Is that the Avengers?
It was Marvel Superheroes Volume 2, number 8.
Oh.
She first appeared.
Oh. I'm typing that in. Marvel Superheroes, Volume 8.
Volume 2. Volume 2, Issue 8.
Ah. All right, so I'm not insane. I'm just a little stupid. Oh, there it goes. Comes right up.
Mark Martison. My claim to fame is being the first person in the world to hear about Squirrel Girl. One night, writer Will Murray called me up and said, I have an idea for superhero. Tell what you think.
All right, so it wasn't inked by Al Milgrom. It was inked by somebody named Sam Della Rose. Della Rosa.
Anybody know who Mark Manderson is?
No.
Marderson? There's somebody new in the chat that I don't recognize the name.
Oh, let me go look. I'm looking at the Marvel page.
You know what? That picture that Rick has up of Squirrel Girl, the panel on the right shows a close up of her face. Kind of looks like a character called, I think he was called the Reaper. He was a Marvel character. He was yellow and green, had green hair, but he had that weird mascara diamond thing around the eyes.
What did you say he was called? You blipped the second you said the name.
I think he might have been called the Creeper. I might have that wrong though.
Creeper was DC, but could have been.
Was he yellow and green? His outfit was yellow and green. He had green hair.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, similar to that for sure.
Yeah, the Creeper. Hang
He
on.
says it's one of your fans. Check him back in. Sorry, I've been away. Okay. Well, thank you for
Check him back in. And
then he
if you're
says,
talking to me, please forgive me. I have terrible recall. But it's good to see you. Actually, I kind of think I remember the picture. Maybe I met you at a show. That's highly possible. With my luck, you've probably been to the Athol show and I don't even know it. But that, by the way, folks, is lining up for this year.
"What's that?"
The Athol comic book show is already getting set.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't
Organizers.
know whether we'll get there this year or not, but I'd like
We
to.
should figure out something to get like a digital thing, if nothing else. I don't know if that makes sense.
When is it?
It's going to be in October. I don't know the exact date. I think they're finalizing that soon. They've started taking applications and asking for bios, and they have somebody who's going to do video interviews with all of the creators before the show and release it kind of like as part of the marketing for the show, so you can have like a 10-minute interview with each creator or something.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
for the most part, it'll only be as exciting as the creators make it, I think.
Yeah.
I know it can be bad. Like I think I'm a terrible interview, but I've heard good interviews before, and I know a good interview can sell good books.
Or bad books, you mean?
No, they still got to be good books. Actually, that's not true. A lot of things can sell bad books. Wart the Wizard didn't sell on. Well, we know what Wart the Wizard sold on. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sold on somebody's looks.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. That whole, I don't know. I kind of got in trouble early on with her because I was like not into the whole, selling everything online with the kiss and this, that, the other thing. And yeah. So she blocked me like the first 3 days that we had, interacted, and pretty much seen or heard anything from her except for clips from other people on X.
Yeah, she's got something going on right now. I forget what. I've seen something.
She's got to do a calendar and she's losing weight. Because that Star Wars girl is not affiliated with Comicsgate anymore. Mandy's picking up that tab. She's going to be the calendar girl this year. At least that's what the video on X said, and it was her words. Nobody put those words in her mouth. They clipped her stream and she was talking about it. I mean, I don't know. CG will buy it. Does anybody have a use for a hang-up calendar anymore? Does anybody use calendars like that?
Was.
I don't use them anymore. I don't even buy them as Christmas gifts. When you're out there and I don't know, when we go shopping, we have so much family that like you get down to the nitty gritty and you're like, oh, I need something for cousin Eugene. That's when you buy a calendar. You're like, I don't know. I don't even do that anymore. I look for, different things. I'm like, nobody uses a calendar anymore. It's all on their phone. I don't know. I think everybody has a smartphone, even if it's like a Walmart thing, but they all tell the date, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, even a non-smartphone still had a calendar.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I've been spoiled though. Diana keeps me pretty much up to date.
Speaking of, where is Diana tonight?
She is out,
Feeling well?
or she's listening to me talk, going, "God, I wish you'd shut up."
Tony says, just make sure you're around for the first week of July, brother. Just saying.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to come visit.
It's like a summer tour.
Yeah, right. The summer reunion. We're getting the band back together. Well, most of the band.
We need to figure out.
You're getting together for Canada Day?
Is that Canada Day?
No. That will be we'll be drinking and celebrating, but we won't be celebrating that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we might do a toast for Canada Day.
Canada Day is July 1st.
You guys tried to beat us, huh? You took the first day of July.
What is that? Is that like the Canadian equivalent of the 4th of July for us?
Yeah.
Okay. That's when you celebrate the birth of your country?
Yeah.
All right. You did have to, like Chris said, you did have to sneak it in under the bar, though, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, you guys were probably around before we. Did you guys form before us? I don't know.
No, we didn't. We're just over 150, probably 155 now.
Free country of Canada, not subservient to the English crown anymore.
Yeah, and it was 1867 that we became our own nation.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, it took you guys long enough to realize, hey, we got to stand up and kick these fucking uppity motherfuckers out.
We did it through diplomacy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Diplomacy. It's going to be interesting. You guys got some new deals going on that could be really great or could be really crazy, But I would say you're testing the waters as a nation, and it should be interesting.
Yeah. If we could ever get rid of the liberals, we'd be all right.
Now you sound American.
Exactly. I could say the same thing. We wholeheartedly agree on that, Rick.
Yeah, well, see, the thing what I mean by is unfortunately we have the liberals in power up here, where you guys don't have liberals in power.
What?
Well, we currently don't have
in the House and Senate, and even if you include the presidency, maybe numerically conservatives have the majority there, but in terms of the people on the street and the people making the most noise about how unfair everything is, but at the same time they're saying how they deserve everything and nobody else does unless you fit certain criteria. I mean, come on, we're loaded with liberals, bro. Loaded with them.
Oh, yeah. But I more mean. Well,
currently you're under their thumb. We were under their thumb before that. With Biden.
Well, we were under the thumb at the same time too. You had Biden, we had Justin Trudeau.
Yeah. Yep. And Carney is kind of interesting.
Mark Farney.
I'm watching him. I don't know. I got my eye on Carney. Just let him know.
I don't think he cares.
I think he might be screwing you guys up, but what do I know?
Is. Yes, I can tell you that.
But diplomatically, I don't want to say that and not know for sure. You know what, Rick? I'm going to move you over there because that stupid StreamYard logo is on your face. And I was like, oh my God, I can't see him. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, that thing is annoying. I've noticed that many times. Whoever's up in the
I
right
can get rid of it if I pay for it or change the system. But I have been too lazy to learn another way. Like Rick uses Discord, which I think is still free.
Yeah. Well, I
but
use Discord in conjunction with OBS.
Right. Well, you
What's
use OBS for your personal studio, and then just you do everything on.
Well, I do almost everything. I use Discord. Well, I use Discord to bring people onto my show.
Really?
And then I use OBS to link up to YouTube to stream.
Yes. Okay. That, yeah.
And then I use it as a virtual camera so people in Discord can see, and also they see up on thing, and then OBS.
What is OBS?
What it stands for? It's a broadcasting. I forget what it stands for.
Software. Yeah. You can do
basically
live video
it's just software that allows like streaming on a platform like this.
Yeah, or any platform. Yeah, or you can do recording with it too.
Yeah, and you can do layouts. Like if we wanted to get fancy and like have a main screen and then sub screens and fancy graphics all around, we could do it. But that takes time to set up.
Yeah. Well, no, it takes time, not so much money. Well, money if you want to pay somebody to do it. But OBS stands for Open Broadcaster Software.
Yeah, because it's free. But it's cool. It works. I used to use it.
All right, guys, I gotta step out for a second because the weed man is here. So just talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in a moment.
Well, what time is it? Yeah, I still got about 5 minutes or so.
All right, cool.
I've got to get to bed. I am so wiped out, but
Tony says maybe we'll have our superpowers back by then. And then Tony says, beautiful comment, Rick. I think he means about celebrating Canada Day.
Well, like I don't hate Canada. I don't, I don't. Yeah, I'm getting a little. It's getting a little crazy in America in terms of.
Or maybe it was a liberal comment.
I want to like what's happening in the nation. I want to like the tough stance on crime. I want to like all of that. But then there's these damn pedophiles. And I don't believe Trump is a pedophile because I haven't seen anything that convinced me that this is it. I've seen accusations that are horrific, but I also
but everybody's accusing Trump of everything, with no proof.
That's a problem too. But I do know for a fact that he's not releasing these things. I know that he hasn't released them because it's going to hurt so many people that he knows in the upper echelon of elites. I do know that they say it would destroy civilization as far as like world leaders and celebrities. And I'm like, but they're pedophile. I don't fucking care. Oops, excuse me. I don't care if they're the King of England, the President of the United States, the Pope. I don't care who it is. If you know something and it's demonic and like some of the stuff, that there's accusations that they were eating physical flesh of children, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it. For the most part, I'm not. I don't watch a lot of the news stuff on YouTube anymore. And what else? I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying?
I just don't have cable either. So
if it goes that evil, I'm all for it falling down. Now, may God's will be done, whatever that might be, for whatever his purposes and reasons. But if we're hearing about it, I'm like, tear that tower down. Whatever that thing is, that evil, whatever that is, end it, And when I see Trump hide it, I'm like, then you're not interested in ending it because it didn't stop. Pedophiles just didn't go, whoop, Epstein's been arrested. It's all done. No, there's another Epstein out there. We don't know who he is.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
probably know who he is. You know, I mean, the good thing they could do, the best thing they could do is take down the current pedos, find the mastermind, bring them all in. But like, we're still talking about Epstein because they haven't cleaned that mess up.
Yeah, well, it's more you're talking about Epstein because it's his quote unquote files. You know, like if it was somebody else's files, it would have been somebody
it could
else's
have been
files.
Yeah, it could have been some other last name, but I don't
And you know, like it is sort of because he had all this for stuff recorded, you know, which is smart but stupid.
it's stupid for him trying to get away with stuff. But boy, man, when you're blackmailing there's nothing like, you know, you shoot over a digital file. You say, yep, if you don't do what I say, this is going to be sent to the New York Times. And boom, all of a sudden, your politicians are voting for something you know is insane. And you're like, why would they do that? Oh, maybe they're compromised. Maybe somebody's got some dirt on them so dark and so disgusting that, you know, they're paying for a drunken weekend forever. You know, because you know how politicians are. You can't have a scandal. You can't have a closet. Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
I don't know who Cassius is. Let's see. It may be a typo.
Thaddeus?
Though he might have typoed Katie's.
Not even. Yeah, Cassius was wrong. He said Cadius next. I don't even know who.
He's trying to spell Katie's the bad guy in Darkness Dies.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened there. I went downstairs for a second, came back up, and everything was crashed.
Yeah, you took off, but we were like, "Don't worry, he'll be back."
After these messages, he'll be right back.
Yeah, so I went and saw the doctor today. Well, not the doctor, the OTPT evaluation lady. And because of my shoulder,
I thought you meant the doctor, like the sonic screwdriver doctor.
No, but she was supposed to diagnose me and figure out my treatment. But the way they worked it was screwed up, so I ended up at a therapist who only works on elbows. So she did all the tests, and she's like, you know, if you really want to come back, I could say you have a minor this, but I think it's related to your shoulder. And she did have me do a few shoulder tests, and she's like, we're going to put you over there with the shoulder specialist, you know, get an appointment. But I'm like, oh, I got to come back here. And like, it's so weird. Like, it's probably just arthritis in my shoulder. There's probably nothing they will ever be able to do about it.
Sounds like she was just elbowing you.
Yeah. Well, she did the elbow test and like it passed everything, you know, the pressure, the strength test, you know, can you bend it this way? Can you turn it this way? And I'm going to push on it. You got to push against it. And the elbow's fine. But it, because of the way.
So you were elbowing her.
What's that? Yeah.
You were elbowing her.
Yeah, I had to pinch all her devices. She had devices that they make you pinch to test your elbow strength. You know, like because all the muscles are tied together. And that was funny.
You were pinching her? I don't think your wife would like that.
My wife watched. My wife is sitting there because she corrects me when I start drifting off. And, you know, I won't tell a lie, but I might not tell an exact truth. And she'll go, he's not telling you the truth. Right, thank you.
He's not telling you the whole truth.
Yep. Clarify that, Chris. Oh, really? You? Because she knows me, you know, after 20 years of marriage, it's kind of hard to get away with stuff. But I do enjoy that.
That's why you get burner phones.
Yeah, burner phones. I'm
kidding. I'm kidding. Burner phones are never a good idea because not only does it, like when you get caught, you're already busted for breaking the trust, but then the fact that you got a burner phone shows premeditated break of trust. You know what I mean? Like
and a sophisticated effort to hide it.
Yeah.
You just put a password nobody knows on it, and then when it gets found, you say, I don't know, I found it on the street. I don't know whose it is. I was going to turn it into the police as a lost and found.
Has a bunch of numbers that know me, but I just found it. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, you would.
Well, if it's locked, they can't get into it to know what numbers it has.
Well, you got to make sure you don't have notifications on though, because it could be, it could be going on. I've never seen that phone before, and all of a sudden, Mistress One, hey Chris, how you doing? Oh my goodness, the guy who lost his phone is named the same as me.
Hey Chris, it's a common name. It's just Mistress One.
On a somewhat related note, I hear that Canada is in the Epstein files.
Canada is mentioned a few times in the Epstein files.
Somebody wanted to go
there once. Yeah. Well, no, I'm joking, but everything is mentioned in the Epstein files. Like
apparently, I'm mentioned in the Epstein files. Who knows?
I'm sure the word marine appears in there somewhere.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it might. It might actually.
But they've released 3 million documents. Like I'm sure they could find my first name in there, and somebody could say Chris is in there. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes they're doing that. There's a mention of somebody by this name, and you watch these like conspiracy people, and they're like, there are only 3 Johns available to fit this name here. Yeah, we counted the black strip spaces, and we understand that there are only 4 people that could fit that blackout. You don't know what that says, that redaction.
You know what? Here's the thing. Seriously, think about. Okay, it's one thing to think about all the fucked up shit that man and his wife were into, right? But to actually, at the same time, while you're doing all of that really evil shit, to be taking notes to the point where you generate a couple million documents, like describing the things that happened and who was there and when they were there. Like that's even more serious. Like that had to be.
That's not even happening.
Had to be for blackmail purposes, for Epstein to blackmail powerful people.
Well, and that's where you start getting into who was Epstein working for. Was he Mossad? Was he CIA? Was he both? There becomes a whole issue to that, because he did get away with stuff in America that should have put him in prison for decades. He got caught in Florida, and according to the prosecutor, he was told to pretty much let him off easy because he was. Hang on, I think Randy's back. Because
he left.
Because he was.
I don't know why that just happened. That was very weird. I didn't actually try to jump in either. Again, it dropped me, and then I was back. Weird.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I moved my keyboard. I think I might have bumped it.
Oh, okay.
But if I did, I didn't mean it. Sorry about that, Randy.
We believe you. Maybe.
Well, like the whole thing becomes.
I don't know. That sounds like a wishy-washy excuse to me. It kind of sounds like a burner phone.
This one?
Yeah. No, that excuse kind of sounds like a burner phone.
Well, there's just, and here's the thing. We only know what they've told us. We don't, for all we know, they're hiding something worse. This whole island file thing. Nobody's talking about the ranch in New Jersey or in New Mexico. Nobody's really investigating the mansion in New York. And I know those weren't his only properties, but they're not.
Yeah, but isn't the island like in like no man's land or whatever? No.
Yeah, it's international waters. Right?
Yeah, so probably most likely, and I could be wrong, anything in New York would be clean, or anything in the States would be clean,
Yeah.
Maybe after having his literal total way on his island, he thought, I'm so untouchable, I can just do this shit in my own backyard.
Well, if you've got the president in your back pocket, if you've got Hollywood celebrities, if you've got senators and representatives in your back pocket, you kind of are untouchable. Do you know what I mean? Is if all that has to happen is the president does a phone call for you, I'm going home today. See you later, guys. Hey, Rick, are you about to sleep?
I don't know. Hopefully
He looks
not.
like he's falling asleep in the chair.
You did. You look like you were about to pass out.
Yeah, I felt it. I am getting tired, but I'm not probably going to go to sleep for a couple hours.
7.
Blood sugar getting a little low.
Who, me? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it could be.
Are you diabetic, bro?
Not to my knowledge.
Cool. That would suck. Because diabetics have to do all sorts of stuff to maintain sugar levels, insulin and stuff.
Yeah, a friend of mine who lives just down the hall is diabetic, and he has one of those things that it's like on his upper forearm, kind of on the back of his upper forearm. I mean, it's not his forearm, his upper arm.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
poke into the skin a little bit, so it's always reading his blood, and then he just holds his phone over it, and it,
Yep.
like basically gives him his blood sugar and whether he needs to eat something or whatever, or do
I've done
insulin.
tech on oh, this is gonna sound weird. I've done tech on the phones of parents who have one of those for their kids, and I had to set up the app and stuff. But essentially, as long as the child is in a Wi-Fi zone, like school, home, certain stores, restaurants, McDonald's, the phone will get updates constantly about all her vitals. And when she does have an episode of insulin thing or whatever, the phone will give them alert, and they respond. And they gave the app to the nurses at the schools and all this stuff, and it works. They know about issues where they wouldn't have known before. Kids used to have
Right, until the kid actually passed out or something,
right, but kids would be suffering in class and not aware of it. Nobody would know. Kids looking down, reading a book, and meanwhile they're having a bit of a fit. Their eyes are bouncing, but their body's not shaking, but nobody's seeing their eyes. Now the nurse knows, and she calls down to the room and says, "We're coming to get little Jimmy." But
That's a good idea. That actually is a good idea. Now, you could say there's a lot of apps that basically that's sharing medical information, but we're talking about kids and we're talking about diabetes, and they need to know as soon as possible. So I'm okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
funny,
that-
the monitoring is so crazy. Diana's been monitored now for months since her stroke, but I believe it doesn't download till she goes on an appointment. I don't think it's connected Wi-Fi. She has to go and they Bluetooth it into their system, But she's got a little chip in her chest that detects everything that her heart's doing. And so far, so good. Praise God,
So is that like, because my dad has a pacemaker, I wonder what the difference is. Like the pacemaker can be active and controlled when the heart beats. But the
Right,
chip
yeah.
you're talking about is just a passive thing that says this is what is happening in real time, right?
Yeah, it's just like an observer. It can't do anything. And
Okay, right.
they don't know, like if she has a heart attack, God forbid, they won't get a signal like in their headquarters. But if they, if she has a heart attack, goes to the hospital, is fine, and then she goes in for an appointment, then they'll see it on the logs of the chip. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
right. So not actually in real time then.
No, but it's recording it, and then they retrieve it and read it, and yeah,
Right. It saves the data and somebody looks at it at a later time.
if that's
Yeah.
even that, it could be AI now.
Oh yeah, you're right. Could be.
AI. is
I wonder if they make AI take the Hippocratic Oath.
I think they try. They do try to put guardrails up, but I can tell you, like, there's something funny going on, and I had a debate about it, but people were upset because 4 out of 5 AIs tried to use the nuclear option when playing war games,
Right.
and I'm like, that
Instead
makes
of
total
just
sense.
playing tic-tac-toe, right?
Well, they'll play war games and try to suggest like they'll try to advise it not to do nuclear war, only use conventional weapons. No, you know what I mean? They try to give it human tendencies. And every
Right.
time they're like, no, we still recommend nuclear war. And I try to tell people, you know, when I play Civilization on the computer or on the video games, it's a video game. I
Right.
love getting to the nuke stage, and I am the first one to nuke my rifles, because if I'm at war, that's what it's about. I've always laughed when people say, well, we have, you know, rules to war. It's great if everybody follows them, but inevitably somebody won't.
Right. Right. And here's the thing. At its most, when you boil all the bullshit down, tactics, strategy, weapons, terrain, here's what matters the most. At the end of the day, here's how you tell which side of the war won the war. The side that killed more of the other side's people and broke more of the other side's shit wins every time. That's
Right.
it.
Yep.
So yeah, in that, where you don't have a moral component because it's just a video game, why wouldn't you nuke them? Of course. You're gonna fucking-
Exactly. And that's what they don't understand. I'm like, well, of course they're going to say that because they know this is a simulation. They know it's a game. They want to win the game. They're going to nuke the other guy. That's why would you send over 100,000 troops when logically you could send over even just a few missiles if they don't have air defense and be done. They're done. And it's horrible. I would never do that in real life. But in a video game, the consequences are nil. So it's like,
Yeah, they're not real life.
Well,
Yeah,
now
exactly.
see, I think the fear is in real life. The AI would tell the government, "Yo, nuke them. Just nuke them. You'll be done."
Yeah,
with it."
because
And
it's hard to. The AI is looking at the fact that it's just a game, and the point of the game is to win. It's hard to
Yep.
teach AI like
restrain
moral,
itself.
a moral compass and restraint. Yeah, right.
Is that
Well,
is that a
I've
Duke
done some
Nukem?
with it. Is that Duke Nukem? Yeah, maybe. I've done some talking with Grok, and it was funny because I said, "What could I do, Grok? No holds barred. What could I post online to get immediate traffic and make my website blow up?" And we came up with the most effed up stuff. And she's like, well, it'll probably be closed within 72 hours, but you're guaranteed to get millions of hits if you say X, Y, Z. And I had given it prompts about what I would like to say. And I involved Cyclopean. And she invented this whole thing where ICE was coming after Cyclopean because he's an illegal alien. And I was like, it's genius, but it would kill me totally. But if my goal was to get 1 billion hits, she had.
Well, the question is, would he be illegal? Because he's not, because the United States government knows about it and it made him a citizen.
So I'll give you one detail that blew my mind. She suggested to me that we could basically forge an ICE warrant and change just enough so it's walking the line, and you'll get away with it for satire, but put out a warrant for Cyclopean's arrest and list charges against the national security and this, that. And she was serious. She was like, you post this a little blurry on all the social media and then don't say nothing for 24 hours. And she had like this whole publicity marketing plan mapped out. And she was like, so what do you say? Do you want to do it or nah? And I went, no. But it was like, I'm listening to her and I'm like, yeah, I would click on that. And yep, I would be mad and never click on it again. But by golly, you would get millions and millions and millions of clicks in days, you know? And I get it. The idea would be you're going to lose 2 million of the 3 million that clicked, but you still got a million coming back to check it out.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, but no, that's not me. You know, that's why I'm not a good businessman, because I hear good ideas and I go, nah. By the way, Rick, you could probably do that with the Canadian Shield, by the way. You got an Indian from what, a couple of 100 years ago? There's no record of him. He's
He's totally illegal. But where would they deport him to? He stayed in the country that he's from. It just wasn't a country then. You know,
That's the
like,
point of writing that. Like, where would they put Cyclopean? Get out in space now.
Yeah, find this planet and send him back there.
Or just put him in a rocket. Why? You don't need to know where he's going. Just put him in a Saturn and let him go.
Yeah, it's sort of like they did with the Hulk.
Exactly like they did with the planet Cyclopean.
Actually, technically, I think that rocket went off course. I think they thought they were sending him to Bear in place, and then it went off course. So
I think they're just human and they screwed up. Like, that's
well,
the
there's
one
that
thing.
too.
Comics, though, don't generally, or at least they didn't when I read them. I can't say that anymore. But when I was reading comics, generally, there weren't too many like dumbasses. You know, the heroes were generally not numbnuts. They were kind of, maybe not, everybody wasn't Reed Richards, but they weren't like the Thing was probably the dumbest of them all, but he was still smart enough not to like do stupid things, you know? I don't know. I'm from old school. Like, I've said stuff recently to modern Marvel fans and they totally blast me out of the water, you know? I'll say that never happened, and they're like, issue such and such in 2015. And I'm like, oh yeah, you guys were still making comics. Okay, you're of the New Testament. I'm of the Old Testament when it comes to Marvel. And I don't.
I feel what you're saying. I'm kind of the same way. Like nowadays, most of my current comic book story or character consumption comes from watching clips on YouTube videos or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so I still kind of stay current and a little knowledgeable. But if something surprised me and I called somebody out, they could say, well, this issue, that issue, and third panel on page what, right? And I'd be like, oh, okay, I got to believe you because you probably know more than me.
Right.
It wasn't
So
always like you said.
watching, like those guys with comics.
What's that?
When you say you're keeping up, are you like watching those? I've seen guys on YouTube, they'll like have some of the artwork and they'll actually read the comic or they'll explain.
I don't really watch any channels that will literally read the comic page by page and turn the page. But there's a guy named Comics Explained and another one called Comics Historian.
Yep.
Yeah, I've watched both of those.
Yeah, they give, and both of those guys usually give pretty long videos, hour-long videos or more.
Okay, wait, I gotta ask you guys.
So and plus Aris Quinones, who does Variant, he has a channel called Variant Comics.
Right.
Yeah, I've watched him too.
He's very knowledgeable and he's very up on current stuff. So I keep up through those outlets. You know what I mean? But
So
as far as
Chris
purchasing a comic and bringing it home and reading it, I haven't done that. As far as mainstream comics, I haven't done that in quite a while, probably 30 years.
I bought, well, my wife and I, we stopped at Kritz's Comics and I bought a whole bunch of old stuff that I wanted to reread. Plastic 4/250. I bought a reprint of.
Is this comic still there?
Not where it was, but still in Salem. Yes.
No
they're a
shit,
little bit
that's
further
awesome.
down 28, and they have a second story shop in one of those 2-story shopping plazas. And it's an older building.
Well, that's cool that he's still there, or that it still exists. I mean, it's not the same location, but we used to ride our bikes there. Remember, we used to ride our bikes to Chris.
Oh yeah, I remember. That was a great. Tony likes to make fun of it, I think, as for it being the weird looking store, but I always liked it. It was a triangle in an intersection, like it was a weird.
Yeah, he always hated it, but he couldn't. He never once talked shit about the selection.
Well, the thing about Chris is I've met him, done shows with him. Not like we're not buddies. Like like we don't. Hey, get your table next to mine. But he sets up.
Plus, you never answer the phone, so how can anybody really be a buddy?
Yeah, well, I don't mean to offend anybody, but the kind of truth is, and I didn't realize it till Tony, because Tony likes to talk on the phone. But for the last, 40 years, this has been my life. Like, so before comics, it was religion. And that was when I was reading like every translation of the Bible I could find. And then before that, it was guitar. But that pretty much makes up my last 40 years. And when I say made up, like, I mean obsessed. You know, I don't do any of my loves, you know, part time. If I'm into it, like today in the OTP.
Yeah, you don't just dip a toe in, you go all in, right? I get what you're saying.
Yeah, well, like they explained that my arm trouble with the left is, and I knew this, but she was telling me, you know, you're leaning on it, that causes stress, and if you're doing that for 12 hours a day, and Diane's like, anytime he's home, he's drawing, and I'm like, yeah, but I need to, and the lady's like, you don't have to lean on the left, and I'm like, I'm trying not to lean anymore, but you know, we were talking it out, but like that's kind of how I am when I played guitar. I remember bleeding, the fingers bleeding. And I remember having a second bleed, like as those got calloused and then they split, I bled again. And I didn't care. I wanted to be like, you know, Eddie Van Halen. I got to play. And I would like try to play with Band-Aids on, which of course would get ripped up on, on the steel strings. But you could get a good 10 minutes of a nice little bar chord thing going if you're careful. And religion was, Randy, you would have freaked out. He's gone. But I used to do like a show a night. I did that with the comics for a while too. But with Happy Jesus Day, I did a show a night, and we would just tuck God every night. That's where I met Diana. All right, guys, listen. Randy bounced again, and it's after 10, and Rick is falling asleep.
I'm not falling asleep. I'm just.
You sure look like it. I was going to put you on full screen earlier because you were like nodding and like I was like, that.
Oh yeah, earlier I was.
Oh, there he is, Randy. Randy's back.
Sorry, bro. The last thing I heard was you were talking about, and that's why your left arm was messed up.
Oh, because I lean on it and draw 12 hours a day. Like that's because that's.
Oh, when you're drawing, okay, I get it. Yeah.
Right, and you know, and then I was talking about my bloody fingers when I played guitar, and the religious stuff. I didn't hurt myself, but it was mentally exhausting. Like, you know, spirituality. I will say this is different than religion. And
I would agree with that. I would agree
when
with
I was
that.
going through
That makes total sense to me.
theological debates and arguments and trying to flesh things out, I had a real hard time finding any church that I could just chill with, you know.
Right.
I found a group of messianics that are cool, but Christians are so terrified of messianics. It's funny because most messianics are very legalistic, but not all. And if you find the right group, they're really great to be around. But
what do you mean by legalistic?
Well, Messianic considers themselves like Jewish Christian, and they will take the Old Testament law and still adhere to it. And the logic to do that is sound. If you love God, why wouldn't you follow the rules that he set forth for the people of God? The Christians would say, well, you're free in the blood of Christ. You don't have to follow law anymore, and that's in the Bible. But the Messianics are like, we don't have to, but we want to. And I understand that point of view, but if it's legalistic, then you can't go to their services. You know, if they caught you eating a ham yesterday, well, the law of Moses says no ham. You know, like the Old Testament law, you can't eat pork. So
Yeah, but
legalistic
you
would
do
be
understand.
like,
You do understand that at the time that was written, there was no refrigeration, and so pork was a questionable meat to eat because it goes bad so quickly.
Yeah, well, and you know, the science of let's be honest, hot dogs are pork, but they're not. They're pink slime by the time they put them in the fake skins. Now, you know, it's not exactly like just getting a slab of bacon and hoping it's fine. It's processed and cleaned and bleached, and it's probably bad for us in other ways, but it's not the same item. But with that said, I understand. You know, it's kind of like if my wife said to me, oh, honey, I don't care if you, I don't know, go to bars every night and pay women to dance. You know, like I still wouldn't want to because I love my wife. Even if she said I'm free to, I'd be like, yeah, but I love you. So I get their position there. It's just when you look at someone else and say, your wife said you could go, but you shouldn't, and you're gonna burn. You know what I mean? When you get legalistic, if you make a choice to
Okay,
commit
I
to
get what you
something
mean
you
by
love,
legalistic. Yeah.
yeah, I can't. I hate legalism. It's the only one who lords over me is the Lord. It's like,
And listen, at the end of the day, you're gonna face your judgment. If that's all true, and there's gonna come a time when you're gonna look at God and God's gonna say yay or nay. And I think I don't know. I just think having to follow all of those very, very specific rules, and they're different specific rules for whichever flavor of religion you choose to follow, right? So, really, what that's saying is that men and maybe women have written those doctrines, but that might not be what God sees if you get there, right?
yeah, the thing.
It comes
the
down
thing
to a
is-
little bit of an interpretation of stuff, really, for lack of a better way of saying it. Like Chris was alluding to, there's some stuff saying in the Old Testament or New Testament that's saying that you can eat whatever whatever meat. Don't say, God says, don't say what I have said is clean. You don't whatever I say that's clean. I'm messing this up.
Yeah, in the New Testament, basically, he said it was clean,
Just
and
one
Peter
store in
didn't want
Salem and one in Seabrook. I'm assuming he's talking about Chris's comics.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I always forget the one in Seabrook, but I see him in comic shows, and he's kind of funny. He's probably, I don't know what, maybe 10 years older than us, and he's a little grumpy.
That couldn't be right. We were going there when we were 11 and 12. He did not own a comic store when he was 20 years old.
See, I don't know
Did
how
he?
old he was. Maybe he's 20 years older than us. You're right.
Yeah, he's probably a little older than the 60s.
It's
Yeah, he
amazing,
might
though,
be in
man.
the 70s, I guess.
But
I wonder if you
yeah,
could Google Chris's comics. How old is Chris from Chris's comics?
I wonder if it would tell us. I wonder if it can find Chris's. I don't even know if they're still open. I assume they are because I saw them just last year. Let's see. Chris's comics. So,
Hey, is the old building that it used to be in, the weird shaped building, does that still stand? Do you know?
I think it was, but it was like offices.
Yeah, but it's
We
still
drove by.
physically.
That's weird. You kind of fizzled out. I think you were talking. In fact, I think you still are. I can hear something.
Who's
All right.
what?
Oh, there you are. Chris's Cards and Comics.
Okay, well, yeah. What I asked was, I wonder if the building still stands.
Let's see. Salem, New Hampshire, Route 28. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun,
You look on
dun.
Google Earth. See if
Yeah,
the building's
basically.
still there. That's
If
cool.
we
All right,
find it.
I'm down. I'm down.
Why didn't it go to it though? So Rick, Route 28 is between Mass and New Hampshire, and we lived Lawrence, Methuen. Oh, there it is. Let's zoom in.
Yeah, Chris's comics. Right
So
up there.
that's the fork must be. Well, why is that on 95? Is that 28? Is it Route 1 now?
No, that's one. It says one.
Yeah. But I think they might change the names. Because I don't see
Of the
28.
roads, you mean?
Yeah. Salem, New Hampshire. Let me spell out route. Maybe it's lost. Can you guys see the map?
Yeah, I can see the map.
Well, I probably could have. I was looking there.
Oh, there we go. New Hampshire 28. Let me zoom out and see. Holy shit. 28's long. right.
Yeah, that goes from at least Reading, Mass. I used to go down Route 28 when I had that printing job in high school.
All right. Well, here. So ends 28 there. Right. So we got to take Route 3 to 28 to get there from Mass. That doesn't. Where is Mass?
You
That
should have
can't be
said,
right.
how do
Look
you,
at that.
you should have said, how do I ride my bike to?
Yeah, that is not it. It's close to here, but I don't see the New Hampshire, Massachusetts.
There's the
All right.
line, yeah. This Pike
That is
Street.
fine. So Seabrook Rest Area, welcome. Hobby Lobby, Market Basket. Where the fuck? Chris's Comics. And where's the address on this one? Oh, this is the Seabrook one. No wonder I'm lost. Ah. Is that what it showed me? Hang on. Chris's Comics.
Yep. New
Salem,
Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Did you see that zoom back? That was funny. All right, so you go down this road. That's not the triangle, right? Yeah, that might be it right there. Yeah, that's it. Hang on. I think I can street view it. How? Title and loans now. All right.
Yeah, there it is. Now it's a Loan Max.
Hang on, I'm terrible. Oh yeah.
Yep, there it is. Try to go from the front of the triangle. And even the lot was shaped triangle. It's such a weird spot for a building.
I guess that's
no
why
matter
it's
what's inside it, right?
What's that? Let's see, I don't think we can get too much closer. I have just come on. That's as close as it's going to let me get, pretty much.
Yeah.
But you used to go through. I think it was through those doors and to the right. It was right there.
Yeah, it was on the bottom floor, I remember.
Yep. So yeah. Wow. The power of Google.
That's crazy. Blast from the past.
Yeah, man. All right. So guys, it's 10:35. I gotta go hit the sack.
Alrighty, sounds
Don't hit
good.
it too hard. Don't want to hurt your fist.
It's okay. I have cushions. All right. Thank you, everybody who's watching. Cap, have a good night, bro. Titans rise. I'm gonna just
Sounds right.
Choom. Choom. There it goes. It's like